your team just finished the MEAC Indoor Championship last week. You guys set a record for tallying the most points in D1 history for the program. The men finished fifth and the women finished sixth. Just how did you like the results of that championship and that event?
Well, going into the indoor competition, we talked about everyone maximizing on their opportunities. We needed everyone to make sure that they were key contributors to our success. And we looked up and on the last day, the third day, almost midway through the meet, we were sitting in third place, both the men and the women's side. And so, you know, I love the way the team stepped up. Everyone really put a lot of onus on themselves to make sure that they were proficient and successful within their particular events. But all in all, we did leave a little bit of meat on the bones. We're a very, very young team, and so what I was extremely excited about was how the freshmen, especially, really kind of went into the meet, and they weren't shell shocked. But I think us kind of going there and competing previously kind of really helped them out in terms of their level of comfort going into the MEAC championships. And so they did a tremendous job. And our returners, our upperclassmen, those who we were counting on to make sure that they made a big splash, they did that.
And you talk about the young group there. We've seen now what the group can do, and you have players like Lamont, and just talk about what you're seeing from them as their growth and where you think that this group can eventually go.
I don't see any ceiling to what we're doing, truthfully. But it's about managing them 24 hours at a time, making sure that they're making the proper decisions outside of the classroom, outside of the track, and make sure that their social life is appropriate because all of these things really come into the play when it comes to the overall success. We manage the operation of the track and field side, strength and conditioning, but making sure that they are academically sound first and foremost. That's why they're here. But I believe that with the emphasis and the structure that we have within the program, if they just make sure that they are, kind of keep the nose down and be the model student athletes that they are, that we will continue to see the success that we're seeing within the classroom, outside the classroom, as well as the track and the field as well.
And with some of your students, you had some of your jumpers and some other teammates receive their first career medals, like Jordan Lodi. And just how proud of you of those that have stuck it through and just kept persevering and maybe battled some injuries, just to see them really enjoy the fruits of their labor.
I can't explain it. You mentioned Jordan. This young lady she is the definition of perseverance. She really is. People don't know that she tweaked her ankle the week before we went to conference. And so we had to kind of take a step back, and Coach Drake did a phenomenal job of getting the jumpers ready, and so did Coach Sweps with the throws and Coach A with the distance. But she is the epitome of perseverance. And for her to come in and to bring back 2 medals, is amazing. Especially with the events that are so demanding on the body, such as the jumps. Extremely demanding events. But she had a family there to help support her. But we know who she is. We didn't have any doubt about what we were going to get when she stepped onto the runway. So she just proved us right. But she's a phenomenal young lady, doing well academically as well. So we're expecting bigger and greater things from her. We'd love to see her on the national stage.
What area do you think the team still needs to improve on to be where they need to be, essentially?
We got to get stronger. I'm just going to be honest. We've simply got to get stronger. We've got to get stronger. They're practicing well, but strength is the name of the game. They're talented, but if you don't put every single piece of the puzzle together, you won't be able to maximize your talent. So if I would be completely candid right now, our strength development is that area in which we really need to kind of improve upon. And we're doing some things to make sure that we kind of maximize with our strength development. We're doing things on the track and the field aspect of it, doing practice, but we're also implementing and doing some different things within our weight training. And so that right now is I'm not going to say it's our Achilles heel, but that right now will help minimize injuries, and also it would help maximize the performances.
And then how do you kind of balance that schedule of being able to lift and work out also, while you're maybe having a nagging injury? Just how do you kind of balance that, and what do you kind of tell your players?
Well, having an opportunity to coach for a multitude of years, things are a little different now when it comes to the nuances of coaching. To be honest with you, we balance that by making sure that they have a good amount of mental and emotional recovery and rest. To be honest with you. That's a big piece of the puzzle now. The body needs recovery, but so does the mind as well. So we're making sure that we are strategically aligning them within, kind of going harder at the beginning of the week, tapering down, so that they make sure that once we do enter the competitions, they're feeling good and prepared for the competitions. We actually really place a huge emphasis on that as we went into the indoor championships. We kind of loaded a little bit prior to, but then we gave them that adequate time of rest and recovery. So by the time we got to championships, they were ready to go. And, for us to score the most amount of points in the same year for the men and the women within 11 years is just phenomenal. And we're just proud of them. We're definitely proud of them. We're proud of the coaching staff and the administration and what they're doing to help support us. But I think that we're at a good place, but we cannot be complacent. We aren't complacent by any stretch of the imagination. Like I said before, we kind of left a lot of meat on the bones, but we're looking forward to getting these recruits in. We have some recruits in today, actually. And so, just trying to build and bringing in some maturation, some individuals that can come in and really be immediate impact players for us. That's what we're kind of focused on right now.
And when this season is over and maybe some years pass and you look back at the 2023 team, what are some things that really stick out to you where you can characterize them and just say this is what this team really stood for and this is what this team really brought to the table?
Great question. Cohesiveness. I've said it before. We're the longest running sport in the NCAA, right? And we're the second largest team on campus. That's a lot of management, right? There's a lot of management from August until May. So it's really about having student athletes that come into our program that we know will work well with each other, that will gel with each other. We have over 50 plus personalities, right? But to have a good understanding as to who each other is and working collectively together. Once you have a common goal, once you're kind of, using analogy, once you're in the boat kind of rowing the same way, everyone kind of having that same mission, things are a little easier. Every day is not a bright and sunny day. But we're making sure that we first and foremost let our student athletes know that we're there to support them on and off the track, that we are an extension of their family. And I think that's one of the things that kind of makes us special. We are not just coaches. We are those individuals that really help guide our student athletes throughout the process of college and beginning to go into the workforce, because our job is to prepare them. The workforce won't prepare you. You have to be prepared prior to. So that's another part of our jobs. And so doing so, I think that it kind of aids and helps with the cohesiveness. But getting back to your question, looking back on it, just us accomplishing something, but having the same goal, and working collectively together through the ups, through the downs, through the injuries, all these things, working together. And this past weekend really made the glue kind of stick, because they're now able to see what they can accomplish and how close they were to really doing some amazing things. And so those are things that I'm actually asking them to bring back to their teammates who didn't travel. This is where we were. This is how we performed. This is what we are expecting out throughout the outdoor seasons. And so bringing that experience back, I think it's going to be very, very valuable. But I have love for this team, but we're not done yet. So ask me that question in a couple of months, and I have a different answer for you.